Hey, Coach, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. We just talked to Trenton Simpson. You've had a lot of developmental linebackers. I guess Balin Spector is an example of that this year. Is Trenton one of the most talented true freshman linebackers you've had to come in? And it seems like despite his talent, he's still very humble and very eager about just learning.
Yeah, Trenton's special. In regards to just his natural talent, tremendous athlete, and very humble, great worker, tremendous teammate, very low maintenance, focused about his business. Hasn't played linebacker very long, so but he's got a lot of natural ability, instincts, toughness, tackler, can run, hit, natural striker, good pass rusher, good in space. But bad inspector the day he showed up, he was a runner and hitter too. So I don't, he probably was more natural to linebacker, even more so than Trenton, I'll be honest. But Trenton, as far as his physical gifts, are really special.
As you look at Syracuse, they've had a tough start to the season. Tommy DeVito's injured. Culpepper made his first start on Saturday. He's a cancer survivor, so he's a tough kid. Had a couple of nice deep throws on Saturday. What have you seen from their offense? I know they have a new offensive coordinator, but does it seem like they're more or less the same offense in tempo that Coach Babers has run in the past?
Yeah, definitely. It's still the same family. I see a team that leads the nation in turnovers. They, took North Carolina late into the second half, had a chance to win that game. Going into the last part of that game. Same thing with Duke, same thing with Pitt. They beat Georgia Tech by 3 scores a couple of weeks ago, and then same thing with Duke. I just said that: Duke, Pitt, Georgia Tech, North Carolina. Again, had a chance to going in the second half, had a chance to win all those games. So see a team that's been decimated by some injuries, but still got really good skill. Long athletes outside. 3 and 14, good physical, athletic tight ends. 87 ran away from Isaiah Simmons last year. Good backs, and quarterback, again, that's a senior, played a lot of ball. They put him in a lot of the games when the game's still in doubt. Just watched him in the Pitt game, slinging the ball around, throws the ball over the top of the Pitt defender a couple times. So they're going to really strain you vertically and force you to defend every, piece of the field, both laterally and horizontally. So, Coach Babers done a great job, developing, again, a toughness and a culture, a family and oneness and a unity. I think this will, that was a tough loss for them, but this will galvanize them for sure. And again, they've been very competitive, and again, just beat the same team that we did. They beat them up and down the field, just ragdolled them. So, our guys will need to come ready to play without question. And but they've played us tough, virtually every time we've played them. So don't expect anything different. Yes, I think they had, on paper, I think they had 7 starters back, from their offense from a year ago.
How about their running back coach, Tucker? I know they lost a running back too. They've had a lot of injuries, but that Tucker had a pretty good game on Saturday.
Yeah, he's played well every time he's gotten in this year. Just watching all his reps, so really good physical runner, good instinct, got a good burst, runs through traffic and trash well. Really good player, very natural, good for their zone schemes and their gap schemes both. Excellent player, just a freshman. He's thick, got a really good low center of gravity, good balance. He's got some shiftiness to him. Good player.
Brent, this is Pete at AP. Every year we wonder how you are going to replace guys like Isaiah and Kevon and Tanner. And every year it seems like you come up with some answers. I'm sure it's not an easy process, but how seamless is that transition from one team to another in order to keep this run going?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, it doesn't ever feel easy. It feels very hard. And every year you just try to figure out your personnel, and then you try to utilize it based on their strengths and their weaknesses and so forth. And then there's a development aspect that you never know how that's going to take place. And we're still, without question, a work in progress, and trying to figure a lot of those things out. What we can do, what we can't do, what we're capable of doing, what we can develop into. And there's so many new faces in that 2 and 3 deep that just when you think, as you're dealing with young people and young players, just when you think that you got a guy pegged, and you can be on the wrong end of it. So I say that not to be evasive, but it really is. It feels like it's a week to week thing, because you want to be able to put together a game plan that puts guys in a good position, takes advantage of their skill set, and still do what you do, in your core, philosophy as well. So it's a process. It's there's a lot of dialogue, on our staff, and really lean heavily on those coaches to, help figure all that out. And then again, as the season goes, it's a fun part. It's a challenging part of the season. And from, again, one year to the next, trying to, again, just develop guys and just figure all those parts out. Again, like I said, it's a process, to say the least. And sometimes it looks good, sometimes not so good. But we have recruited well, both up front and in the back end. But just because you have talent, there's a lot of teams that have talented players, and you got to coach them, and then again you got to develop them, and then you got to put them in, again, systematically put them in a position, to be successful, to know what to do, to play with confidence, to play with aggression, to play with fundamentals. And that's as the season goes on, that's a never-ending process to me. And the best players and the best teams get, you hopefully, and again, there'll be some ebbs and flows, but you hope that graph, has an incline to it, from the beginning of the year to the end. And that's when you really know you're doing a good job, as a staff, and certainly as players.
Brent, is there some kind of secret in blending guys maybe who took more time to develop, like a Balin Spector or a Chad Smith last year, with 5 stars like Brian Brzee and Miles Murphy, who come in and play right away?
I think you recruit character first. And certainly you're recruiting good football players, instinctual guys that can run, guys that have instincts for the game, guys that have passion, love for the game. I think you bring in, ultra talented guys that are not great team guys, or they don't like school, or they're not great teammates. They're all about themselves. I think that can be a recipe for disaster as well. So you got to be very careful. I think that's why, again, it goes back to the people first. And then you rankings and things of that nature. I think to be smart, you take all the information, you read it all out, and then every year you kind of basing it on your needs, or maybe you're 2 or 3 years ahead, where you're putting together a puzzle, constantly. And so you're not just trying to have a great team, you're trying to have a great program. And you do that foundationally with character, with toughness, with work ethic, with guys that are consistent, the guys that are passionate, guys that love it, guys that want to be coached, guys that have a sense of humility, guys that value education. I think all those things collectively is, and we're so far from perfect, but yeah, that's kind of what you shoot for. And then I think as a staff, everybody understands, that genetic makeup, if you will, and tries to promote that and recruit that and have big picture in mind, as well. So, it doesn't always work, but I think that, in the long haul, I think it has longevity and sustainability. And then again, I think the best programs in the country and the best, when you have your best teams, I think the core foundation is you have, really good leadership, with your juniors and seniors. So those are guys that are, again, continue to promote your philosophy, they're promote showing up with the right mindset every day. And that, this is a developmental game, even Brzee and Murphy or Wilkins or Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence, you go back to their freshman year to what they are now, or, from their first year to their fourth or fifth year. And they're on different planets, and that's part of, your responsibility. And that's also part of the player's responsibility to show up every day, work, grind, and then you develop, and you improve and get better. So I've always said that I would, that fourth or fifth year guy plays at such a different level than that really ultra talented first year guy. And sometimes that first year guy, he's very talented and he is not overwhelmed with, scheme and verbiage and structure and not very much free time. And he doesn't get overwhelmed. So he transitions fast. And sometimes that guy shows up, man, he just misses home. He misses his girlfriend. He don't really like school. All the structure is overwhelming him. The playbook he's spinning. He's over his head. He's got all this talent, and but he doesn't have the maturity to maybe go along with it. And so that guy takes a little bit longer. And again, so that's why I think that you're foundationally, man, you've got to be a developmental program. So you're not trying to strike lightning in a bottle. Again, because what we're talking about, what you alluded to, is that's how you have consistency as a program. And you don't have to change your messaging every year because you got a great message in the first place. You know what I mean? And same thing with how you recruit. And, and I think Coach Sweeney does a great job, with us as a staff at continue to nourish our philosophy in recruiting, the kind of people that we're recruiting, and not perfect people, but you're, again, just trying to, again, look ahead 2 or 3 years and anticipate certain things. And then again, just recruiting the right kind of people. So, and then there's a sense, again, humility, and there's a sense of commitment that, hey, when a young guy comes in and he has a mindset, yeah, this is a process, he's looking forward to that third and that fourth and sometimes that fifth year. Man, that's the backbone of your team. And if Coach Sweeney does something great, you got a long list, but he does a great job developing leadership, on our team, and accountability to our core philosophies, and just real buy-in that is not, you just can't say it, preach it. You gotta get guys to understand it, believe it, protect it, fight for it. And that's really, at the end of the day, that is your secret sauce.
Brent, Larry Williams here. You mentioned that there's some things you're still trying to figure out as the season evolves and guys sort of grow into their roles. What or who sort of ranks at the top of that list right now of things you're still trying to figure out?
It's a long list. I don't ever look. It's all important to me, and it's fundamentals, physicality, aggressiveness up front, precision in what we do, and the basics, and in your movements and your pressures and your disguises and your positioning on formations and alignments, and God, just getting guys to play with better discipline with their eyes. And again, when you're dealing with a whole bunch of young guys, you're dealing with those things every single day, just like as a parent. every day. It's about brushing your teeth, cleaning your room, turning the lights off, not eating candy when you're not supposed to, don't ruin dinner, get your practice gear ready, fill your water bottle up, you go down, the next day you got to start over again. You just say it again. Yeah. And it's like making donuts, man. It's just the same thing every day. And literally, so I wish it was just one or two things. The great thing is we got first world problems because we got really good kids. We got really talented guys. And we have a bunch of guys that love to work and have a sense of humility to them. But that list, for the most part, doesn't change any day of the week. And it's the same stuff every day, really. It's all of it. I'm not trying to be evasive, but fundamentals, alignments, eyes, precision, timing. It's not like, the rotation, what you can get away with, what you can't. It's, God, it's just, there's so much. And guys like Skalski and Nolan Turner, even DK to a certain degree, even Balin, that's played quite a bit. Those are guys that you're not having to coach them on that. They're actually out there coaching the other guys on those things that we're talking about. And Skalski's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What's the big problem? That's not a hard, So I got to calm him down. Like, hey man, he just got here. So anyway, it's, again, like I said, I think if everyone would agree, watch us play, Wake Forest, it's so funny because they go and they're like, it's like a lot of these offenses, they go so fast. I'm trying to tell our guys going, and you think it's been fast. We go fast in practice. Our offense goes fast, and we got tempo periods, and then we play Wake, and a lot of the young guys in particular, but even the first group of guys that went out there, which there's I think 9 new starters, they were so mentally and physically just cooked, man. They were like, oh my God. And then when we put some of the freshmen in there, and they was like, hey man, can I come back out? I needed me a mental break because this is happening fast. And so anyway, from a process standpoint, getting guys to get more and more comfortable and consistent with their, pre and post snap processes on how you play well. And then some of it, again, it's just, understanding. I think the best players, they play really well because they understand, what the supporting cast is doing. And so that, again, that takes time. We're in, statistics, and we're trying to teach them derivatives, and it's simple. The derivative of 25x is 25. Okay. So that's easy, for, somebody that's finished statistics, but there's a lot of them that are still in that first phase of the class. They haven't gotten to derivatives yet. So anyway.
Coach, this is Trevor again. You just mentioned Skalski. Is he pretty similar to how Ben Boulware was at practice? How similar are their intensity levels at practice?
Intensity levels pretty much identical, and but he's a little bit calmer. Very intense, super intense. Just not as loud as Ben. Ben was awesome. What they both shared, their passion, their love, their intensity for the game, their perfectionists, so hard on themselves, so demanding of themselves, never, ever, ever satisfied. And then they have this uniqueness of making everybody around them better. And that's what the great ones can do. And whether they know they're doing it, whether they're intentional about it or not, they just make people better. And when you have success as well, that validates, because players pay attention, and they're like, man, that guy shows up in the game. He makes all the same plays he makes in practice, man, because he's he's out there trying to dominate practice with the mindset and a sense of desperation that if I screw up on this play, we're going to lose every other game the rest of the year. And just having that, fight for your life mentality, like somebody's holding you down underwater and trying to drown you. You're fighting for your success. You're fighting for your life. And when you have that, man, you naturally just strain. You can't help but get better. The strain's gonna make you better. And so hopefully that rubs off on guys. And we have a great core group. You talk about Skalski. That's what I love about our linebacking core, man. They are so hungry, humble, tough, cohesive, love, respect for one another. They're all about their business. But that doesn't happen because of me. It happens because recruiting the right kind of guys and having the right kind of leadership and having a lot of buy-in, by the guys.
We'll take 2-3 more for Coach.
Back to the development with the younger guys, Brent. Have you had to be exceptionally sort of cognizant and cautious to not put too much on their plate, just scheme-wise so far? Is that sort of what you're getting at?
I don't know. It's all hard. It's hard. I think we do. We've done quite a bit. But you do got to be. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. You can't overload them to a point. We got to do what we do. So you got to kind of meet us. But there's that other aspect. It's really more us meeting them where they're at, and then helping them have success. So I think there's. We haven't. I don't think we've been simple. I just think that we've had some guys raise their levels up, and I to try to bridge that, that gap, and it just put a lot of time into kind of, get ahead of the curve, so to speak.
Brad here from Clemson SI. Turnovers, you forced 8 in the last 3 games. Piggybacking off what you're saying, is some of that because of the development of these guys fundamentally, and they're slowing down a little bit in their mental process? They're able just to make more plays on the ball?
I would think that has a little bit to do with it, and no question. You always want to say absolutely yes, and when the game slows down, you'll be in the right position. You'll play with more discipline. You'll make the layups, and sometimes the layups are the throw that's right to you, like Nolan Turner's. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. Don't try to do too much. He slid right inside, that RPO, and sometimes they throw it to you, sometimes they don't. But don't get bored with doing the little things, at a really high level every single play. And when you do, you'll make all the plays you're supposed to, and then you're going to start making, some real special plays too. So I think that definitely is a part of it. Playing with aggression is part of it. Being aggressive and how you call plays. I think sometimes you try to speed things up for people. Just like the offense, they'll go fast and try to strain the defense. And what are they trying to strain? Your alignment, your assignment, your eyes, your keys, your footwork, your fundamentals. Your communication. They're trying to speed you up as well. So sometimes you do that, philosophically.
We'll take one final question for Coach.
Hey,
Coach
Brent,
Venables,
it's Anna
this is-
with Clemson 24/7. I was just, sorry, Grace. I was just
No, you're
curious
good. Go ahead.
if you watched any of Georgia, Alabama, and if so, just anything that stood out, how Georgia tried to defend Alabama and just Alabama's success in the perimeter downfield.
I mean, I watched it like everybody probably that loves, college football. It was just stressful. I was stressed watching it. I'm no fun to watch it stuff with. I look at all the other stuff other than where the ball's going. I'm worried about all them real fast receivers at Bama or, Georgia was, smashing the ball down in the A gaps at will was the Zamir White. So I'm like no fun to watch games with. It was not fun. And you watch other people sometimes, you don't think much of yourself. I mean, that's how I am anyway. Sometimes you look at other people like, they're the 49ers and, the Cowboys. and but they both look really good. So, but really, you're looking at it just for entertainment. Even though, again, I'm not fun to watch it with. Too much analyzing and whatnot going on, but it was fun to be able to watch a few games. But other than that, I just saw a bunch of good players. You know, both teams got a very, very talented squad. So it'll be a fun year.